Good morning, everybody, from Ravens Ridge in the hills and mountains of Virginia in this peaceful little valley. I thought I would do a different kind of topic today, and I thought about it, prayed about it, meditated on it, and asked for some guidance because I want this channel to encompass many things. Most of all, like I said before, is one, trying to help people who are in similar situations, considering similar situations that I find myself in and from my mid to late 50s of being alone. And I've been alone for a very long time. And, you know, people my age, mid to late 50s, we were kind of raised, Gen Xer here, kind of raised to, that you're not complete unless you have a partner, that you're not complete unless you're in a couple. That's just absolutely not true. So today's title is going to be Beliefs and Boundaries, and how to have those moving forward for yourself. Everybody is different, and so the beliefs and the boundaries will be different. But I found for me that it's extremely important to make sure that your beliefs also are incorporated into your boundaries, because I found over the last few weeks, I'm going to sit down here on the front porch, that I am kind and I am compassionate, and I don't have a problem with representing that, right? So for me, beliefs are defined as what you feel works for you, makes your heart happy, brings you peace, brings you joy, brings you love and happiness. And to try to project that onto an external source, a person, a place, situation, job site, family, friends, lovers, whatever it may be, that you need to, I should say, let me reframe. I have found for me that that doesn't work. And I've known that for a very long time. And so for me, my beliefs, and I'm not just talking about spiritual beliefs, I'm talking about personal beliefs and how they impact my life and how they impact my decisions. Over the course of my life, let's just start with religion and move our way up, because that's always a factor, what your spiritual religious beliefs are. I've been baptized, 4 to 6 different religions on my spiritual quest, different, non-denominational, Mormon, all kinds of stuff. I've been Baptist. So what I am is a truth seeker. And what I have found in the long run is that you need to do what you feel is best for you, and always pay attention to your gut, your intuition. And some people just, it took me a long time to tune into that, and I'm fine tuning it better and better every day. But your belief. So my belief is this: I take all the good from all the religions and all the spiritual practices and apply them to my daily life. I don't need a building or an institution to validate that I am a good person, or that I need something external. I believe that God is within each and every one of us, that we're made according to the Bible in His image and or her image. God does not have a gender, in my opinion. Was Jesus here? He was a male, he was a healer, that sort of thing. But I also think Buddha contributed a lot. There's a lot of past individuals who lived on the planet that were lovely, good people that contributed to mankind in so many ways. And so I have, for my own quest, again, I've already read most of the main religious texts, the Bible, the different versions of the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Kabbalah. I've read them all, the Book of Mormon, the Pearl of Great Price, over my quest from the last 30 years. So I think what you have to ask yourself is, what do you believe? What are you drawn to? And what kind of a person does it make you in the long run? Does it contribute to your compassion, your love, your kindness, treating others as the way you'd want to be treated, the golden rule, right? So for me, I try to always incorporate those things. Am I 100% successful? No, because I'm human. And You hear talk of trying to get rid of the ego. Well, that's not going to happen as long as you're in a body that is human. It's just not going to happen. We all have our little caveats, that make us human, and that's not a bad thing. I think doing shadow work, like Carl Jung, the individuation process, is so important. Not to repress the shadow, but to embrace it, figure out why it's there, and encompass it, and make it a healthy, balanced part of your daily life. So, how do beliefs, whether they're spiritual or religious, play into your boundary setting? Well, boundary setting is, I think, primarily, and you can always correct me if I'm wrong, in my belief system, is that how you incorporate your beliefs into your daily life and how it affects you and it affects others. And so boundaries for me would be, I've learned some hard lessons the last few weeks, I'm not going to lie. Always choosing myself in a healthy, happy way, and saying no to people, and also standing up for myself in certain situations, and not putting up with toxicity. And now toxicity is a word I think that is kind of overused in today's society, but you have to determine through your beliefs, what is toxicity to you? What is not acceptable to you to have, in your daily life? How people treat you, how people talk to you, how people, I guess I'm lacking the words right now. How important do you feel you are to yourself is the main gist of the conversation. So, do you feel important to yourself, or are you so worried about what other people think that your boundaries, you have none? That's always a big question. There's a book out there I want to recommend, and I can't think of the author right now. It's called What Other People Think of Me Is None of My Business. And that is so hard to do in today's society. From the time I grew up, always trying to people please, always trying to do the right thing. And it never seemed to be enough for people, because I didn't fit into their genre of what I should do, what I should be, how I should act. Children are seen and not heard, all kinds of things. And so here I am in my mid to late 50s, discovering what is toxic, who I am. And it's always a journey. We're always a work in progress, right? We're like a blank canvas. Every day we start new. And so how are you going to paint yourself today? How are you going to add to your landscape today? Are you going to do it with love and positivity? Do I think we can do that 100% of the time? Absolutely not. Do we ignore our anger, frustration, hurt, disappointment? Nope. You need to sit with it, figure out why it's triggering you, and then move on, and then find a healthy boundary to enact with that, right? So for me, I have literally pulled back and figured out I wanted a house on a piece of land in a beautiful location that feeds my soul. Nature has always filled my soul up. Spirituality has always filled my soul up. I can't say that churches have always filled my soul up. I've had some really harsh lessons from churches. But as I get older, we grow and we evolve, and we just try to do our best and live day to day. So I guess my overall thing is your beliefs and your boundaries that you set for yourself, whether you're married, single, doesn't matter, in a couple, doesn't matter. You allow, what's that saying, is that you allow others to treat you the way you want to be treated. So you're showing other people how you want to be treated. So you have to ask yourself, how do I want to be treated? And how do I want to treat others? That's such a big thing. And so I just would encourage each and every one of you that watches this to make sure that you give yourself some love, some compassion, some ease, some grace, some kindness. Talk kindly to yourself when you see yourself in the mirror. Talk kindly to others. And if somebody triggers you and they say something or do something that, pushes the limits of your boundaries, then maybe you need to revisit it and figure out, well, because usually what you see in others that triggers you is a reflection of what's inside you. So my suggestion would be to do the shadow work. Look up some Carl Jung stuff. I'm telling you, the man was a genius and way ahead of his time on the individuation process. And so I'm going to be quiet about that, you know, healthy boundaries, be kind to yourself, and greet yourself with goodness in every day. And be thankful for where you are, because there's always a lesson and a blessing with everything. Sometimes we can't see the forest through the trees with that statement, but it eventually will come out. And trying to go to the light and the good things instead of going to the dark and the bad things, what's going on in the world today, I choose to try to go to the light every time. I'm not saying I'm successful every time, but that's so important to do. And so today here at Ravens Ridge is just a day to food prep, to get things put together. I have a desk to put together. I have all kinds of things to get done before the end of the day to prepare for the work week, but also to sit outside and enjoy some of this peace and this calm. I'll take the dog for a walk. I can hit a lot of trails from the house. We go slow because, as you know, Kai's getting older and he has a bit of arthritis. So anyway, I hope this has all made sense. I feel like I'm on a bit of a ramble, but it's true. And I hope everybody has a good day. Thanks. Ravens Ridge out.